What's up, YouTube? Danny McSquare here with another episode of Stackin' Stacks. And in this episode, we're talking about three things: what I've been buying, trends in the market, and mistakes that I've made. So, let's get started. So, I've got some sovereigns here that I've bought recently. Big fan of the kookaburras and kangaroos, turtles, those kind of ones. So I've crafted what I call a roll of down unders, basically coins that are sovereign to Australia and New Zealand. Here's Darth Vader coming at you. I like that coin. So I wanted to have some fun and variety with my stack, and that's kind of what I've done. So and it's not really a real thing. If you go to a coin shop and you say, "Hey, I want a roll of down unders," they might look at you sideways, or they might know what you're talking about. So I was able to get in on this grouping here, about 7 or 8 of those guys, when spot was just below $23. It was around $22.96, I want to say, and my LCS is typically about 11 or 13 cents below spot. And I based my spot again off of Kitco. They don't sponsor the channel, but they are kind of the gold standard for what spot price is. Some people refer to it as melt price. And so if your LCS is a little below Kitco, that's something you should take advantage of. Not like take advantage of it, but you should take action on it. I have also gotten into coin hunting, $half coin hunting. So I've been recently buying a handful of $half boxes. So it's $500. It's like going to the bank and getting $500, but you just have to order a box of $half. They usually don't just have them. And I was able to find a 1964 JFK, and I was absolutely thrilled. I did it again and didn't find any silver, but did find a couple of proof coins. And I actually verified them with one of my buddies who perhaps knows more about numismatics than I do. They're proof coins because you can see just how shiny the background is. Most coins don't look like this. Apparently, these are worth about a couple of dollars. So I think I'm just going to keep them for posterity, just kind of keep them for fun. But if you do come across those, don't just use them to buy your baby diapers or whatever. And then for my birthday, I recently got this fine piece. So this is one that I will absolutely treasure. I feel bad because I know my mother-in-law didn't just pay $2 to $5 above spot for this. But this is a coin that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and ideally one day will leave to my kids and their kids and going on. The coin's in great shape. Part of me wants to get it graded, and then that little thing you see there is actually on the plastic cover, not the coin itself. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, like a lot of people were working from home, and I will just blast Gloria and dance with my puppy and just try to feel as blessed as possible. I love like hugging a stranger on the street, like if I find just a random dude that likes Ozzie Smith, I want to give him a big hug and talk about Ozzie Smith, and you can't do that right now. So I'm struggling in that department, but overall I'm blessed, and so I want to, kind of treasure that. So that's phase one, kind of what I've been buying. I haven't been buying a lot, and that's because of spot prices. So let me clear out this spot right here. As of the making of this video, silver is trading at $24.94. And I've shared a couple of times that I just feel like I know the prices are going to go back down. Although I was right, I did a video a couple of months ago when I said silver is going to live in the mid-20s. And it did. It went up. It was close to 30. Then it was upper 20s. And now for a while now, for a good month or so, it's been in the mid-20s. But I want to just provide some context. So not too long ago, less than 2 months, spot was $27. And then again, this is all per Kitco. You can go on their website and verify that. Good information for research. October 6th, just as a kind of going forward from there, we were at $23. So it's gone up a little bit since the beginning of this month. But to give you a little bit of 2020 pandemic history lesson, May 28th, kind of at the end of the craze of the low prices, it was at $17.90. And then pre-COVID this year, January, February of this year, silver lived at $18. It fluctuated, but that's if you just said, hey, what was silver price this year pre-COVID? It was $18. So with the price being $24, nearly $25 today, I don't have a burning desire to go buy more of these right now. Like, these are awesome coins, okay? And I'm a big fan of turtles, right? Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, okay? I'm a big fan. But I don't need to go buy more of these right this minute. And overall, silver is still undervalued, right? I think potentially it could live even higher than where it's living right now. But I don't have to make that decision right now. I will let it get into 21 range before I get a little aggressive. I will let it get back down to this number, or dare I say even lower, before I go all in, so to speak. So that's kind of topic 2. Topic 3 is mistakes that I've made. I recently tried to get a little bit more into numismatics than I should. And I'm a big fan, for the most part, of the concept of staying in your lane. It's not always applicable, but I'll give you an example. The Rams, when they were the greatest show on turf, the first year, Dick Vermeil was the head coach and Mike Martz was the offensive coordinator. Mike Martz was put on this earth to run offenses and make defenses look terrible. His best lane was assistant head coach, offensive coordinator. That's what he was put on this earth to do. And he was a decent head coach, honestly, but that was his lane, right? So my lane is acquiring silver at the best possible price, hunting for low premiums, accumulating it, and that's my lane. So my lane, for the most part, isn't numismatics. I bought, and I'll talk through each of these in general in a second, but I bought these 3 at the height of the crash, kind of late March into April, when spot for a while was, at the lowest it was 12 and change, and then it lived at the 14, 15 range before kind of recovering. This was a gift. I'm super fan of this, and it would take a lot for me to end up selling this. So this is I'm a huge fan of the Franklin half dollars. So I was trying to get into numismatics and thought I was educated enough, and I bought a PS70 or an MS70, I should say, MS70 from this website. This a website that I have no problem with them, but I'm just not going to name them because I just don't feel like it's important. And it was an MS70 of a 2020 emergency relief American Eagle, because it's the last year they're making that coin. It's going to be a new design, and there's just something about the 2020, and I looked at it as, hey, I'll spend a little money on a coin, and maybe 5, 10, 18 years from now, that coin is going to be worth 5 times what I paid for it. So when it comes to grading and numismatics, there are, in general, 3 companies out there, and I'm going to go through the first 2 in kind of random order. So PCGS is definitely a reputable grading company. If you've got a 69 or a 70 that's PCGS, you know it's legit. Same thing with NGC. So this one is certified 65 by NGC. And in general, the constitutional silver is going to be a lower grade than bullion because this coin is just so much older. So a 65 in a Franklin is very good. And then, of course, we have these guys. And this coin may be a good coin, but ICG stands for I can't grade. It's the worst. It's the pits. Avoid this at all costs. So this I bought in concert with these. So I bought these 3 kind of separately on eBay around that time, end of March, early April. And I paid $27 shipped to my door for each of these. So I don't feel bad that this says IGC because I paid $27 for it. And right now, I would get more than that just for spot. Potentially. I mean, spot's 25. Most LCSs are paying a premium on Eagles. Hey, maybe they look at it and they say it's at least a 69 as a PCGS or NGC, right? And the coin itself is in great condition. So I have no problem there. And then the other 2, Panda. This is actually my only Panda that I own. Pandas are interesting because after It was either 2014 or 2015. They stopped making pandas as troy ounces, and they made them in 30 grams. So this one is 30 grams, which is just under a troy ounce. So a troy ounce is 32.151, something like that. So this is not a troy ounce. This is 30 grams. And they used to make them in troy ounces, and those are the ones that I'd want to sneak in and get at a potentially lower than what I should, because they're kind of rare now. The mistake I made wasn't any of those three that I'm showing you. The mistake I made was buying the IGC 70 2020 Emergency Relief American Eagle. I mean, it's just a tongue twister to say all that. I paid around $141 for it because I was seeing elsewhere that it was listed for $200, $250, $300, an MS-70. The catch, though, is those MS-70s that were listed for $200 to $300, they weren't IGC. They were PCGS or NGC. So what had happened was I purchased it, then kind of realized that it was IGC after the fact. Yes, okay, I'm sharing a mistake, so let's go with it. I took it to my LCS. The goal was to take it to the, pretend this is the coin, because it's not, but pretend it is. I took this to my LCS, and I said, hey, listen, what would it take for me to give you this and recertify it as this? Not an MS-70, but a PCGS or NGC, right? And the guy looked at it, and he said it has a milk spot. So I bought an MS-70 coin that had a milk spot on it. And it wasn't a very big milk spot. Like anyone who knows the Philharmonics, the Silver Philharmonics, the Austrian Philharmonics, those are notorious for milk spotting. Those are, quite frankly, the worst. I don't think I'll ever buy one of those again. I have 2 full rolls. They're partial to my heart because they were, when I first got into stacking, that was the initial one that I bought. So I'm glad I've completed my second roll of Philharmonics, but I have no desire to buy more because they do milk spot. There's kind of almost nothing you can prevent them from milk spotting, and that will reduce your value. A lot of LCSs will have a price specifically for milk spotted silver. So that's something to take into account. I literally bought an MS-70 that had milk spotting, and I was lucky enough because I was within the time frame. I shipped it back. I paid, I think, like $5 and change for shipping, and I got my $141 back. So that was probably the best $5 I've ever spent because I got my money back. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you playing around with numismatics? Do you have a preference between PCGS and NGC, or do you actually like ICG? Do you if you work for them? I don't sue me, but I didn't make up the whole I can't grade thing. That's what my friends at my LCS actually said. So let me know what you think. Do you dabble in numismatics? How do you value those versus the others? Are you holding them to sell? What are your thoughts on that? And do you have any constitutional silver that is graded? Again, I'm such a fan of the Franklin. And then what are you buying right now? Are you concerned at all with, well, primarily, today, so it'll possibly close at or near $25. Are you still buying? What are you buying? I'm trying to complete a roll of American Eagles, and so I'm trying to, part of my problem is this, but also the premium still. So my LCS, I can get Eagles for about 4.5 above spot. That's not terrible, but it's still too much. Quite frankly, with spot where it is today, I should be able to get Canadians for $26.50 maybe, and Eagles for 27 and change, $27.50 tops. That's just not a reality right now. So share with me, what are you doing? Do you like these? Are you buying Eagles or Canadians? How many of these guys do you have, namely graded coins that are 69 or 70? Or does anyone have a graded bullion coin that's below a 69? That I'm curious. I've never really seen a true bullion coin like this. Not to be confused with constitutional silver, right? Silver dollars, half dollars, those kind of things. But true bullion. Do you have any? Have you seen any that are below an MS-69? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Again, trying to grow this organically, no ads or anything like that. I'm open to suggestions and comments and what you want to see in future videos. Haven't posted in a while because I've just been busy with work and other things. And I am going to post a couple of videos completely unrelated to stacking. I posted one from a music track that I recorded for a buddy of mine that we used to have a band from way back in the day. So I am going to post some music to the channel, not necessarily to this playlist of Stacking Stacks with Danny McSquare, but it'll be on the channel. No cause for alarm, no reason to change anything. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. This is Stacking Stacks with Danny McSquare, the Danny McSquare Show. Your humble servant, Danny McSquare, as always. Peace.